Hi guys, welcome to another Darren's Creative Corner video. Today we're going to have a look at redoing the poster that I did for the whole channel. Now, earlier on you saw me do this poster on A3 paper, and I then worked out it was going to be too small. So I then decided to cut my losses and go up to A2. And I might have changed the geography of everything since then. So I say I might not have, but we'll soon find out. So we got 12 shows we need to look at. Well, I say 12, it's that plus the main channel itself. So I'm going to start with maths first. I'm going to use a pencil to write this down, to do some drawing. Like that. I did have this off on a diagonal, but then I decided I think this time it might be a better idea if I just had it like this. I'll show you what I mean once I've put in the exclamation mark, because once again I've done a factorial and I've used the same number as I had before. It's just the tricky thing with doing A2 is you may not, I'm covered on camera because I'm covered by the paper. So the next thing I need to look at while I'm thinking about it is I'm going to do a pen for the banner. So I'm going to put banner over the number. And then what we can do after that, after I've done the banner, I'll show you what I've done with the banner. Let's go this side as well. Because what I'll do then, after I've done all that, is I'll colour that banner in and then put maths on top. But before I do even that, and I just want to be able to rub out what's in the banner. And that's not coming off because it's gel pen. It's a good thing as well, it's not going to come off. So we now we rub the bit out in the middle, and now it looks like the banner is over the top of the number of 7 factorial. And what we'll do at this point is we'll just colour in the banner. I'm going to go, it's important to, when you do this, to go for a nice light colour, because black won't show on darker, because you want to make sure it's light enough so that the black will show through. So I've gone for this colour. And then we'll do that. And then I'll colour in that bit as well. Whoops. there's one disaster about this, having the two lids interlocked together, and that is when you pull one off, you pull the other one off as well. And then what we'll do is I'll just quickly write maths corner. I should be able to fit this all in. He's hoping I can fit this all in. I should be able to. I was able to, but just about. There we go. That's what that looks like. So I've just about managed to fit it in. I think I could have done with a longer banner, but there we are. I just did it long enough so that I was able to, I did it so it was long enough just to fit in the factorial of 7. Now I'm going to do a different colour for the number. As in, let's have a look. I'm going to go for this colour, I think. And then what I'll do, got to be careful because this black pen's running out. And then what we'll do is we'll cover the top bit first. And then I will, that's the wrong one. That's the fine, that's the thin one. We'll do this bit. And just need to just colour this bit in. Try not to go over the lines. And then what we'll do, oops, I'm drawing on myself. It always happens, particularly with felt tips. Look at that. I managed to get it off, but it looks like I'm bleeding. I mean, blood's not that dark a colour, I should be aware of that, but yeah, you know exactly what I mean. And then we'll take care of the bottom part. I think at this point I will go for the finer tip on the pen, on the felt tip. So 2 in 1, so it's so it allows for you then just to just colour that bit in. But because there's such a small amount to colour in at this point, it's a wise idea then just to do the smaller, finer print. Unfortunately, this paper, wow, that's not good. This paper is supposed to be 100 grams per square inch. Look at that, it's just soaked right through. Probably because it's the finer tip. So I'm committed to that. The pen's soaked right through. So just got to try and think of an idea as to what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, because it's, as I said, it's the thinner, the finer tip, which is why it's then, why it went through like that. And that shouldn't have done that. I mean, this is 100 grams, this is meant to be 100 grams per square inch. So I'll either have to find something to do with that, or I'm just going to have to chuck that bit out. So again, that's the maths corner one done. Where I've done the 7 factorial. I'm just going to chuck in some bits as well. So I'm at this point going to put, I will do a finer point for this one. I've just got to be careful not to have it soak through. Putting the answer as 7 factorial. For those of you who have seen my maths videos, you'll see that I've looked heavily into factorial, so you should know what that equals to, but there's a reminder just in case. And then I'm going to put in another sum as well. See, because I also am hot on my BIDMAS at the moment, so I'm going to do that. So I've got in brackets 2 minus 1 times 8, where you do the multiplication first, because BIDMAS not only does it apply inside the bracket, outside the brackets, but it also applies inside as well. And so that gives you then minus 6, because you've got the 2 as well. Minus 1, because then you've got a plus and a minus, make a minus. 5 plus minus 6. In this case, that would be minus 1. Minus 1 plus 10 is 9. And that is your answer right there. I'm just hoping I haven't soaked through even more than what I should have. Let me double check, just in case I have. No, I haven't, although that was incredibly close to it. Now, you could just about imagine what's going to happen next, but I am going to do my music corner next. Put in a little treble clef. Yeah, and I think, because I actually sing tenor, I'm going to have it so it matches my vocal range and put an 8 below it. Now with that, because I've got an 8 below it, it means this clef means it's like the treble clef, but the notes are sung an octave lower than what it was when written. Now that treble clef looks a bit out of place, so I think I'm just going to rub it out and start again. It's not meant to be italicized, but not in my perspective anyway. Then put the 8 underneath that, and then I use a black pen to colour that in. and then I'll switch to the thinner one to do the 8. But now I'm committed because that's what we've got there. And then what I will do is put a music bar into that. Just hope I haven't soaked through. I have started to soak through. Well, I definitely need to chuck the bit out that's underneath it. So what we'll do at this point, try and do a straight line. Remembering a music stave has 5 lines, which of course then gives you 4 spaces. Also have to remind myself that the 4th line ends up where the loop is, because that's your G. It's typically your G4, or in this case G3, because of the 8. But it's typically G4, yeah, or in this case it'd be G3. And then what we'll do is we'll start filling in information about that. So we'll go for, I'm going to go for my favourite of the key signatures, which is a good old E flat. So B is flattened at this point. E is as well. I'm going to have to put that up a little bit. And A. And that's what we've got there. That's that key signature, what I've done there, that's E flat. And then we'll do a time signature of, normally I put, normally it shows as 4/4, but you can actually simplify that down to just a C, which in that case it means common time. And now what we'll do is we'll just quickly put them in. Like such. So then that gives you this. And then the next thing we want to do is add some notes. I'm going to, at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just done a chord of E flat. La 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 la. Yeah, gonna put an E flat. Trying to think of some other notes. I've got an idea. La la. La. Whoops. And I'm singing the notes as I put them down, so that tells you something. Got la 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 la. Yeah, I think I ought to make that a bit, yeah, a bit smaller. It's a bit more like it. So we've got our notes as well. So I've done la 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 la. 8, 5, 3, 1. And I'm going to just, all right, I'll colour in the notes first. This would be a good point for me to use. The smaller tip. Now, initially, when I did this poster, I did the case of, I wrote down the notes of, da, 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 which I think was a bit boring, so I just put in an E flat chord of 8, 5, 3, 1, like such. So that's what we're looking at. I'm just hoping I haven't soaked through. Yeah, I started to. I'm gonna have to chuck this. I'm gonna have to chuck the one out underneath it as well. What I do want to do is use another colour for the lines. And then we just fill those in. As such, good job I coloured these in black. Yeah, good job I coloured the notes in black, because the blue wouldn't be able to go through. Although I still want to be careful when doing this. And then the last one. As such. And then what we'll do is, I think with that, the idea that I had was just put music corner at the bottom, because it's then your words. I'll put that in the blue as well. Musical corner Yeah, it's music corner. I put music corner. There we are. Not going to change it now. Although I might have to if it's if it's still too small. And then I'll colour this bit in black just to signify the end of the music. And that's 2 shows down. We've still got another 10 to go. Oops, I dropped my pen. We've got 2 shows down. We've got another 10 to go. Those 2 are there as well. And I'm just going to put that there for a moment and I'll come back to that in the next video. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.